Alright, so in this next video we're going to cover the autobiographical sketch. If you're not familiar with the autobiographical sketch, you will be when it comes to application time. Essentially what this is a list of everything you've done from the age of 16 onwards. So that's a lot of stuff. The biggest thing right now is to take notes early and keep track of timelines, because the sketch is going to cover work experience, volunteer experience, extracurriculars, and your academics as well. So academics is covered in the schools that you went to. Your work experience is going to be looking at any paid positions. Your volunteer experience is looking for anything serving the community, and then extracurriculars can be filled with hobbies or sports, anything that you do in your spare time. So one of the biggest questions for this section is, what do I do? Everyone thinks that they have to do thousands of volunteer hours, they have to commit to hundreds of clubs and do a million different things and throw it on their application. That's probably one of the worst things you could possibly do, because if you think about it, the people who are looking over your application are human too. Yes, they want to see things that you've done, but they don't need to see 1,000 different things that you've done, a couple things in one month, a couple things in another month. The biggest thing for med schools is continuity. So my advice to you is to pick something that you're passionate about. Pick something that you are interested in and you will stick with. Not only will it look good in terms of continuity's sake, but when you get down to writing your application, or if you make it to the interview process, it's a lot easier to write and it's a lot easier to express things that you're passionate about, as opposed to something you just took because you wanted to pad your resume. So there's a number of different options out there. For volunteer work, people think that they need to stay in a hospital setting. That's not true, and you don't have to stick to research either. Again, I'm going to stress the fact that you should do something you're passionate in. If you like research, then go into research. It's good on your application. Because the application is looking for characteristics. They're looking for leadership, teamwork, interpersonal skills, responsibility. That's the normal qualities, things that you would want in a doctor. They're not looking at what you did, they're looking at what you got out of it. So pick the things that you're going to like and then expand your character qualities within those. When it comes to volunteer work, do you need to work in a clinical aspect in a hospital? Of course not. You don't need that. I would recommend that you go and try to get a position somewhere in the healthcare field, just so that you get an idea of, is it something that I want to do? Is this right for me? Because the application process is a huge commitment. So you don't want to be going into something that you have no idea what it's about and then end up further down the road, it's not something you're interested in. So maybe shadow a doctor, try to get into a hospital just to see if that atmosphere is something you enjoy. But if you already know that it's something you want to do, then don't feel pressured to go into a hospital. You can get volunteer work anywhere else to get qualities that med schools are going to like. Same with your work experience and your extracurriculars. Only take on the things that you can manage, because again, you're trying to keep your grades up as well. So keep all that in mind, don't try to burn yourself out, and then the best thing to do now is to keep a log of everything. When it comes to the application time, you only have a short section to write everything about that one thing that you did, so 150 characters or so. It's not much. So keep a log of qualities that you gained from there, things that you did. Make sure you have a verifier for everything, because they do need to have a contact to make sure you did that. You also have to do your time commitment, your number of hours a week, how long it was for. Write all that down, because when it comes to the application, trust me, it's going to be a lot better than rifling through your pay stubs to try and figure out how long you worked somewhere. So that's pretty much it for the autobiographical sketch. If you want more information on the MCAT and interviews, watch the next set of videos.